Okay, today magsisimula na tayo sa ating activity on 3D imaging. And the first is stereometry. It's very popular. Halos lahat ng mga nagti-3D ito yung ginagamit. And more in different levels of sophistication. Magsimula tayo sa ano ba yung stereometry. Okay, una muna guys, di ba napapansin nyo, do this quick experiment. Look at any object near you. And then cover one of your eyes. So kunyari, ako tumitingin ako sa main sticker doon sa desk ko. So if I cover my right eye, carefully take note kung nasaan approximately yung object na tinitingnan nyo. Do not squint your eye para hindi lumabo. Just cover it with the palm of your hand. Next, cover the other eye. Okay? And then do it quickly, cover the other, and then the other one. Do you notice something? Na parang gumagalaw yung location ng image, di ba? Parang nag-shift. That difference in location is known as disparity. And that's the reason why we are able to see 3D, because our brain processes this disparity as distance, or rather depth. Okay? Now, technically, ito yun. So have a look at the diagram here. We have an object that we are observing z distance from our eyes. So imaginein mo, ito yung mga mata mo. You have two eyes. No? And in this case, in our case, dalawang camera kunyari. Now, one eye or one camera seems to see that object a distance x1 from its center. Meanwhile, the other eye or camera sees the object a distance x2 from its center. Right. Now, these two cameras or eyeballs are separated by a distance b. Let's assume that they have the same focal length, f. Okay? So at this distance, ito yung focus. Now, take a look. The object is at a distance z. Technically, ito yung gusto nating malaman. Gaano siya kalayo from the plane of our eye or our camera. Kasi pag ma-reconstruct natin yung c, technically, nakukuha na natin yung depth and makukuha na natin yung third dimension, x, y, z, right? So may idea na tayo kung ano yung shape niya once we get z. If you look, there are similar triangles here. This itty-bitty one, okay, this small triangle here is the same as this big triangle here, tama? And this small triangle here is the same as this big triangle here, tama? Therefore, sasabihin natin, look, this ratio of x1 over f, parang tangent, ano, is the same as this capital X over z. Okay? And the same way, this ratio x2 over f will produce the same ratio as this distance over z. And what is this distance? Well, this distance is just x, capital X, minus this distance, which is essentially b. And so that's x, capital X minus b over z. And now, combining these two together, solving for z, no, small z though, no? We get, you can try it, no? You will see that it's z is equal to bf over x2 minus x1, okay? And x2 minus x1 is known as disparity. Disparity. Notice that kapag malaki yung disparity, this is a ratio, no? But if the number is small, the denominator is small, z is large. Okay? If this denominator is large, z is small. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nun, objects farther away would have smaller disparity, whereas objects that are nearer would have higher disparity. Now, if we do it for several points in the surface of the object, we could reconstruct the surface, the heights of the surface, or the range, and tawag dito minsan range of different points on the object. And essentially, guys, this is it. This is stereometry in a nutshell. Questions? So those mga nabulag sa isang mata, hirap silang maka-determine ng depth unless they move their head from side to side. But pag isa lang mata, kunyari nabulag yung isa, mahirap at if they look at the scene, nahirapan silang mag-determine kung which one is farther. They use memory instead, or they can move their head side to side to estimate depth. Now, okay, now let's do stereometry in two ways. There's the mano-mano way and there's the MATLAB way. Okay? Pareho naman natin gagawin to sa MATLAB. Pero first is the mano-mano way. Kasi kaya natin gawin to isa-isa. When we do this, mas nagigets natin yung process. No? And pag naintindihan natin to, mas madali na yung siyempre mas madali na yung MATLAB once we get the hang of this. Okay. This is what we do. Look for a box and wrap it in wrapping paper. Importante yung may paper na may parang matte paper, yung may mga crosses ang grids. No? The vertices of the grid lines will serve as reference points. Ngayon, kung meron naman kayong chessboard, yung kahoy, you can use the chessboard, open it 90 degrees and let it stand on its edge, and that's it. Meron na tayong object na 3D na may grid lines pa. So that's all right. No? Now, kung yayamanin kayo na may dalawa kayong identical cameras, go ahead and use them and then take a picture of the scene. Okay? Just make sure na pareho yung focus nila, right? Pero instead of using two cameras, pwede namang isa na lang, no? So for example, gagamitin mo yung yung smartphone mo. Capture an image of the object, no? At a certain distance. Doesn't matter kung ano yung distance na yon. Anyway, yun nga yung habulin natin eh. Okay? Yun nga yung na-measure natin eh. Distance for each point on the surface of the object. Pagka-capture mo, move the camera a small distance B from its initial position. And don't forget, we need that B, okay? So measure that B. And make sure hindi mo tinagilid yung camera mo. So kumbaga in-slide mo lang a distance B. So you might ask, Ma'am, gano'ng kalaking B ba usually? Pwede bang 10 centimeters, 20, ganyan, 1 foot, ganyan. At tingnan mo yung mata mo, girl. Di ba, saglit, konti lang yung distance between your, interpupillary distance between your eyes, no? Less than that. Kahit konting usog lang, like say, less than 10 centimeters or even less. Konti lang, okay? Konting galaw lang. But whatever that distance is, ang importante kasi makita mo kung ano yung nakikita ng isa. As many points that you see on the first camera, ganun din yung nakikita mo dun sa pangalawa. Okay? So hindi kailangang malaking distansya. The more grid lines or grid corner points you see, the better. Okay? Alright. So using the same camera assures us that we're using the same focus. Okay? So pag inopen mo yung dalawang image na yan, no? Kunyari sabay mong inopen sila, say sa GIMP, no? Mapapansin mo na baka mayroong slight vertical difference, no? So kung ganon, medyo i-adjust mo yung isang image. I think you can shift an image up or down, right? And then you save that. Kumbaga, pag pinatong mo yung dalawang image, pantay-pantay na yung mga vertical features nila. This is very important. Okay? So as best as possible, pagpantayin mo yung vertical features. Okay? Now, eto na. So take one image, no? So dalawang image mo, aligned na sila vertically, no? Maraming corner points yan, no? Tandaan mo kung saan mo kinuha, get the XY coordinates of corresponding vertices in the two images. So, technically, Y nila medyo pareho, yung X nila mag-iiba. So, yung isa tawagin mong X2, yung isa tawagin mong X1, no? From the other image, tawagin mo siyang X1. Pero assume natin Y nila pareho. So, gather as many points on the grid as possible to get a smooth fit. Yan. And then, makalculate mo na. So, for each of those corner points, oh, by the way, yung ibang students ko, ginamit nila Rubik's Cube. Oh, di ba? Pag may Rubik's Cube ka sa bahay, pwede na rin yun. Kasi yung corners nun, pwede na rin. Sakto. Now, so for each of those corner points, and now you have X2 and X1 for each of those corner points, compute for C. And so now you can plot the surface of your object using mesh. Mangyari, essentially, you have scattered data that needs to be interpolated to produce a uniformly spaced data. So for this, we can use grid data and mesh grid in MATLAB. Magiging kasi mapapansin nyo, this would be a non-uniformly, in the image plane, this will look like non-uniformly spaced points. And so to fix this, we can use the functions grid data and mesh grid in MATLAB. Okay? So, ano naman yung second way? Alam nyo ba, itong stereometry, meron na yan app sa computer vision toolbox. And so, I suggest try and follow. I think meron na rin silang available data. So, look for it in our MathWorks. It's a computer vision toolbox thing, right? So, may example doon. Hanapin nyo yung depth estimation from stereo video. Oh, video pa to, di ba? Stereo video. Pwede yan. So maraming tools ang MATLAB na is meant for stereometry. Like siya na yung bahalang mag-match. Siya na yung bahalang mag-align. Ayan. At after, automatically hahanapin niya na yung mga corresponding points. Yun yung matrabaho guys, yun maghanap ng corresponding points. So may mga techniques for it to find na, this is the same feature as a point in the other image. No? So automatically gagawin niya for several points in the image and siya na yung bahalang mag-compute. Once na-align niya na properly, once natanggal niya na yung mga outliers, makakompute niya na yung disparity and eventually makakompute niya na, and right away makakompute niya na yung depth and reconstruct niya na rin yung depth. Malinaw mo. So balik tayo dito sa So gawin natin to ngayon. Okay, ulit ha. So today, ang gagawin nyo, hanap kayo sa bahay ng anything na may checkerboard pattern. Rubik's Cube, chessboard, or kung wala, hanap kayo ng kahon, wrap sa wrapping paper. Tapos, using your camera, capture the image of that box. Slide your camera a very short distance, take another image. That's it. Tapos, pag tapos nyo na yung image gathering part, balikan nyo ako tapos i-try natin isa-isahin yan. Okay? Tulad ng dati, yung ginamit natin yung mismong data nyo. Okay? Okay? Sige. I'll give you 20 minutes to do that. Pwede ba, guys? Okay? Tapusin natin to. Okay? Sige. Stop share. May tanong tungkol sa activity?
Ma'am, sorry na. Nakika up ako sa meeting kanina. But mag-take lang po ng picture ng box na may grid. Ay, 2 pictures. Tama po ba?
Yes. The second picture, using the same camera, you just slide your camera slightly, laterally. Make sure that you measure the distance that the camera traveled because that's the letter B there, okay? Never ever tilt, rotate the camera, no? Just slide it along a line, okay? Along a plane. If you have a math notebook, pwede rin. Buksan nyo lang yung page tapos in 90 degrees nyo, use. Pwede na yun, okay?
Ma'am, we should have like a ruler for when we move the camera.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You should know the distance.
Okay.
You should get the distance, huh?
Okay.
Sige. I'll give you 10, siguro 10 minutes, tapos na kayo, no?
Yeah, ma'am. I think
Sige, 10 minutes, kunin yan. Go, go, go. 9:13, balik kayo dito. Okay? So guys, first step is open it, say, in GIMP. In GIMP kasi or Photoshop, you can open many images, no? Also, if you could email me your images para ipakita ko sa inyo din or i-manipulate natin using MATLAB online. No?
Okay lang po ba email ko na lang po muna?
Oh, sure. Bea, paki-email na rin sa akin, ha?
yes, ma'am.
Checking my email.
Sinend ko na lang po pala sa chat yung akin.
Girl, wait lang, ha?
Okay.
Teka. So, teka. Sana tinilt mo ng konti yung box. Ay, mapagtsatsagaan pa natin to. Makukuha natin yung top view.
Okay lang naman po akong take
Oh,
Ano
yeah. I should
Balas,
take it.
Parang, ang boring naman itong mga images nyo, Bea. Adi, dapat
Sorry.
medyo yung yung parang yung
Yeah,
corner, alam mo yun, parang
okay.
nakatukot sa
Okay.
atin.
Okay.
Parang yung both sides nakikita.
Oh,
parang 3 sides
Oo.
po yun.
Pag reconstruct natin to, para siyang tent na nakahiga. Ngayon parang pag reconstruct lang natin to, flat lang to.
okay.
Sige, i-tilt nyo na yung, again yung kanto, para kita yung both sides, guys. Pwede ba? Ulitin natin.
Okay.
Sige, ulit.
Sa both pictures po, ma'am, kailangan pong ma-measure namin yung distance ng from camera to the box.
No. In fact, that is what we're going to, that is the unknown. And that's what stereometry is all about. We're gonna get that. Okay? So guys, i-tilt nyo yung Rubik's Cube such that kita natin yung both sides. No? Okay? Hindi lang yung iisang side at saka yung top. Ayaw ko yung top. Gusto ko yung sa side kasi mas maraming points din yan. Okay? Pakiulit. Yan! Adi, yan ang sinabi mo. Teka. Gaano kalayo yung movement ng camera? Laki Laki.
Mga 8 centimeters po.
Too high, I think. Pasensya na ha. Could you repeat it such that 2 centimeters lang? Or 3? Less than 5. Yung parang halos nasa gitna pa rin pero kita mo na may disparity. Yan. Okay? Hello guys. Now, I will assume nakuha nyo na yung, na-adjust nyo na. Hindi ko napapakita kung paano nyo i-adjust the GIMP. So, na-assume natin i-align na natin, no? So, today, we're trying to get the okay, so first is, let's read image 1, read. I renamed it R1. R1, okay. All right. So, R1. Now there is a function in MATLAB which allows us to get coordinate points. Okay, Ayan. Bakit mouse? Okay, G input ata. Okay. All right. Let's try this. So to get mouse inputs, sige, we're gonna click automatically. So let's say, let's take 9 on one side and 9. Example lang, kunyari 10 points muna. No? So remember this syntax, G input, let's put a number there, number of points that we'll get, and it will enter them into X and Y. These are the coordinates. Okay. And then we press enter pag tapos na. Well, let's try that. So we're gonna get the coordinates automatically, or rather by mouse click. in input. And let's say, let's have 10 points. We can change this, okay? Let's see if it works. Let's run this thing. Oh, sorry. Live editor. Run section. There. Okay. We are moving. All right, so I'm going to move my mouse. I'm going to click 10 points. So, see? 1. Is it working? Yeah. Kaya ba meron din ganyan? I'm going to get this corner 2. 2. And then 3. Of course, I can get the face as well. But remember the order matters. So please remember kung anong order nyo clinic yung mga points. Baka mamaya magkaiba yung order nila, magkakaroon tayo ng weird na XY. Right? So I'm just gonna get the corners here and a few middle points. So I went through the periphery. Of course, it's not too accurate. Medyo weird yung behavior ng mouse dito. It's kind of delayed because it's online. So targeting it to a corner is medyo... Okay, ilan na yun? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm gonna get these 4 points here. Dito sa gitna. Wala lang. 10 lang kasi, no? Afterwards, I press enter. 1, 7, again in a counterclockwise direction. Hindi, clockwise direction. No? 2. Last na lang. Ay, dalawa na lang. Sorry ha, hindi masyadong accurate. Laki ng delay. Okay. All right. And when I'm done, look at that, guys. I got 10 points automatically by just clicking there. And imaginein mo, you do the same for the other image. Okay. So, can you imagine that? Section break. To equals in read. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna close this. And I'm gonna show I2 and ay dapat pala ginamit ko X1 Okay. Ano yan? Ano ganyan? Equals G input. And I'll go around again and get those points in the same order so that pareho yung Hindi ko pa to na-align, guys, kasi medyo matrabaho mag-align So, assume ko na lang na-align sila vertically. Pero trabahuhin na natin to. Let's run the section and then let's go through the points again. Counter in clockwise direction. Okay. Kumusta kayo dyan, guys? Nasusundan nyo? 1. 2. Siyempre, hindi accurate. Ay, ang bagal niya. Wait lang ha. Pag online talaga, may delay. 3. 4. Ay! Wala sa saktong kanto. Kaya ng kote. 5. Ano ba? Yan. Sige, pwede na yan. 6. Sample lang to ha. Kung gagawin nyo to sa totoong buhay, gawin nyo mas accurate ha. Kahit i-zoom in nyo pa, pwede. 7. Tatlo na lang. 8. Dalawa na lang guys. Uy ba? Ah! Yan. Yan. Lasa lang, lasa lang. 10. Okay. 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 Now, assume natin pareho lang, ano? So, pwede na tayong mag-calculate ng Z, guys. Hello? Feedback naman dyan. Big niyo ako.
Yes, ma'am. Following po.
Okay, calculate na tayo ng Z. So, ano sabi doon? Ay, by the way, guys. Ito nga pala. Paano yung B? Ano yung B mo, Adi? Adi? Ano B mo? Oy, Adi. Adi? Anong B mo?
2 centimeters. Tama po, di ba? Yun yung distance between.
Well, oo. 2 cm. Simulan natin. 2 cm. Okay? Ano yung focus? O ganito, Adi, no? The focus actually can be found in the image, no? Windows ka ba, te?
Yes pa. Windows.
Okay. Open mo yung image, right-click mo sa properties. Okay? Tapos, tingnan mo dun yung ano, hanapin mo details. Okay. Stop share muna ko. Capable ka bang mag-share screen, Adi? Hello?
Ay, nakabubad po kasi ako sa Zoom. I'm sorry. But I think kaya ko pong tignan siya. As in, yun po ba yung f-stop? Na...
Hindi yung f-stop. Yung focus. Makikita mo ba yung focal length? Hindi f-stop ha. F-stop yung 1 over something. Hindi yon. Aperture yon.
Ay, yung f over number? Yun.
Oo, wag yon. That's aperture. What you want is focus o focal length. Meron bang lumalabas dyan? Usually meron yan eh.
Try ko na lang.
How about you, Bea? Makikita mo ba pag kinuha mo kunyari yung properties ng image? Di ba nakikita yan, no? Somewhere?
I can't see it right now.
Oo, habalo, tingnan mo kung may F dyan sa ano. Kasi yun, F. Otherwise, kung hindi natin alam yung F, dapat calibrate natin yung camera. Pag kinalibrate natin yung camera, makakalculate natin yung F niya.
There's none top here.
Wala.
No.
Mag-assume tayo ng value. Pero ano, Adi, may nakita ka na properties ng picture na naka-indicate yung F?
Wait, yun po yung sa phone ko po kasi pag tignan ko yung details po ng picture, merong f over 1.89, 1 over 40.
Hindi yan. No, that's not F. That's aperture. Ang tingnan mo is if you can see focal length or focus.
5.43 millimeters.
Yon? Yun na nakasulat? 5 point?
May nakasulat pong 5.43 millimeters.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
That's it. That is it, girl. That is it. Okay. Oh, very good. That's it. In millimeters. So this should be, para pareho silang millimeters, ano dapat to, girl? 200? Tama? Tama ba? No, 20. 2 cm is, tama, 20 in millimeters. Tama? Yan. Okay. So, now, yung C doon, disparity. Disparity is equal to x2 minus x. Okay? assume natin x1 to, no? So hindi ko lang napangalanan. Pero nasa memory na kasi siya, so hindi ko na mabago yan. Otherwise, kukunin uli natin yan. And that's it. But these guys are not in millimeters. These are in pixel distances. Okay? These are in pixel distances. So, the thing is, we need to know ano yung size ng pixel. So, for example, there is, for example, one pixel, physical pixel is 4.3 microns, for example. 4 point something microns, may size yon, okay? However, yung pixel na yon doesn't take into account yung magnification. So, essentially, pag tinignan natin tong image, the pixel length at that distance is something else. So, pag bumalik tayo dito, Adi, ano yung distance from this corner to this corner? Ano yung diagonal distance or length?
Uh, 80 millimeters po.
Okay. Can you tell me how many pixels are from here to here, by the way? Oh, wait. Meron bang help get length? Oops, not that. Meron pang kuha ng length eh. Wait lang ha. Adi, can you tell me how many pixels, if you're using GIMP, how many pixels are from here to here?
Okay po. Open ko lang po yung game.
Well, actually, I can use, that would be 0.1, 2, 3, ano? Teka, ganito yan. X, di bali na, x of 3 minus x of 1. Okay lang yan. I know it. No, it's y. My God. Mali ako. Yung coordinates dito, this is x. This is x. Teka. Tama ba? Ay, hindi. Baka nga y. Sige, tingnan natin. 433. Okay. So, ano uli, Adi, yung distance niya?
80 millimeters. Measure ko po with game and after 435.
435. Yeah. Ayos, di ba? So, multiply lang natin to ng conversion factor, no? X2 minus x. So, 1 pixel is 80, ano ulit? 80 millimeters?
Yes po.
Divided by 435 pixels. Tama?
Yes
Yan.
po.
So, this will be millimeters in terms of pixels. Okay. All right. So, let's hope it works. Oh, I'm so afraid. Pero ito na. Ooh. Okay, guys. Ito yung conversion factor niya. No? So, 80 centimeters, 80 millimeters from here to here, and 435 pixels from corner to corner. So, we can convert x2 minus x1, these differences, into millimeters as well. And so, the units pan out. So, run section. Ay! Now, it's important guys itong dot dito kasi element per element divide by a vector. Otherwise, pag hindi nyo linagay yan, error yan ata. Okay. Run section. Kinakabahan ako. Run. Hey, no error. And now we have a Z. Okay. Now, okay, ito na. Lapit na. Whoa, how much time do you have? Yeah, still have time. Okay. Everything's good, by the way. So let's get a section break. Problema, uneven. So let's get an X, a Y, and a Z. So we can use either X, Y, Z. But if we plot it, it's not gonna help us too much. So I'm gonna go here and let's take a look at mesh grid. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ano ba yan? Bakit hindi siya nagalaw ng pop-ups? Kung kailan naman oo. Teka. Dito. Kikita niyo pa yung screen ko, guys? Guys?
Yes.
Alam ko mesh grid yun eh. O grid data. Yan. Ito mismo. Okay. Mesh grid x2, xy returns 2D grid coordinates based on the coordinates contained in vectors xy. X is a matrix where each row is a copy of x and y is a matrix where. Okay. Teka. Yun isa pa. Grid data. Grid data. Yun. Interpolate yan. Okay. Grid data fits a surface of the form V to a scattered data in the vectors x, y, v. The grid data function interpolates the surface of the query points. So I take example. Random numbers x, y, and then nag-generate siya ng surface. So nag-create siya ng mesh grid na equally spaced. Tapos ginamit niya yon for interpolating. Ito. So, ito yung kailangan natin guys. Kasi yung XY data natin, magulo yun. Pero pag in-interpolate natin, magiging equally sampled. So, pwede tayong mag-draw ng surface. Okay, by the way, pwede pala nating i-plot muna yung ating points. Tingnan natin kung anong itsura, no? So, tingnan natin. Let's go to it. Plot lang muna tayo. Plot. Ay, teka. Plot X, Y, and Z. Tapos sige, maglagay tayo ng circle. Ay, tsura nito. Ito na yung points na nakita natin. Transaction. Ay, plot 3 pala. Ayan. Yung sabi dun sa example, guys. Plot 3 kasi 3 dimension. Oh! Sige. Ano? Transaction. What is this? Oh, pero parang may nakikita na akong ganap. This is X, Y, and this is Z. Does it make sense? I have no idea. That makes sense to you? I don't know. But let's interpolate. Sige, tingnan uli natin yung example. Gawa daw muna tayo ng mesh grid. Teka, ano yung range ng data natin? Ano? Kasi kailangan nating i-indicate yung yung to. So, kakopyahin ko to, pero babaguhin ko yung mga data niya. Copy. Bayan, di nagpa-paste. Yung range natin ng X ay 400 to 1,000 eh. Sige. Yung X natin ay 400 to 1,000. Pero steps natin in Sabihin natin 20. Yan. Tapos yung nakikita ko dito sa graph niya, parang, ano ba to? 1,000 siguro, no? Hindi, ano yan? 1,000 to 1,600 in steps of, sabihin natin ulit 20. Dami yan. Dami data points yan. Okay? So, ang grid data natin ay may X, may Y, tapos may Z. Okay. And then, pwede na nating i-mesh. So, 3D mesh ito. No? Sabi niyo sa example. Mesh XQ, YQ, VQ. Okay. Oh! Okay. Hold on muna. Para it will overlay on the same image. Mesh X Q YQ. Ay, hindi ko nagawang ZQ. VQ. Wala na. Okay. Afraid. Sige. Wala na. Oh. Natin kung ano itsura nito. Hey, that wasn't so bad. Do you see the corners? Guys, do you see this? Nakita nyo yung window? I'm opening it in a figure window. Nag-open ba?
Opo.
Nakikita nyo yung open din na figure window na bago?
Yes, ma'am.
Nag-pop up. Okay, let's rotate this thing. Rotate. Okay, I can see, ang pangit pala ng corners ko. But you can see the, ano, di ba? Itong Z, this is what's going out at us. All right? Okay. Pangit lang yung pagkuha ko ng points, guys. But do you notice that ito yung kanto na pinakamalapit sa atin. Ito yung mga corner points. Ito yung nandun sa face. Wala yung dalawang points dito sa face na to. Dapat may dalawa pang points dito, right? Did you get the drill? Did you get the same? If you do it carefully enough, makukuha niyo yan. Okay? Pangit lang yung pagkakuha ko dito siguro. No? But if you get more points dito sa gitna, for example, hindi niya i-interpolate dito na isang, kasi di ba, the corner points, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, dun sa corner. But imagine niyo kung kumuha tayo ng points dito, points dito, points dito, points dito, points dito, makikita niya na, surface pala yon, hindi ito diretso, no? Kasi undersampled yung mga points dito. Get niyo ba, guys? It worked. Okay, pangit lang dahil konti lang yung sample points ko. But this will work for more. Gets ba? Kumusta kayo? Kung lahat ng kanto ng Rubik's Cube, I mean, itong mga grids dito sa Rubik's Cube, kinunan nyo, malamang mas maganda yung makukuha nyo kaysa dun sa akin. Ayos ba?
Ma'am, what is the function you used again to get the number of pixels? I got disconnected there, I think.
This?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I knew that this was the first and this was the third because of the order of my capturing of data. So I simply subtracted x3 minus x1. So ibig sabihin x of 3 minus x of 1. It's okay because I know that first, second, third. Okay. Kumusta, guys? Success ba? Kayo, Adi, ikaw. This is your image. Pag inulit mo to using more points on the figure, Adi, mas flat ito. Ito, pangit lang kasi konti lang yung sample ko. But you can clearly see na may kanto. Diba? Hindi siya mukhang kanto ng Rubik's Cube because konti lang yung data points and it tried to interpolate. Yeah? Okay. See what happens kung 4 lang yung kinuha nating points, guys. run this again, but this time I'll just use the first 6 points. See what happens. 1 to 6. Yan. 1 to 6. Yan. Kasi wala na yung face, no? Okay. Yan. And so Z will be just 6 numbers. And so I must pay attention that I will just plot the first 6 numbers. But again, the more the merrier. Okay. All right. So again, I'll say, okay, 6 lang po. 1 to 6. 1 to 6 nito. Because I'm sure they are just the corner points, 1 to 6. Okay. All right. The disparity is good. I mean, I think it's the same, but sige, I'll just run. Okay, I'll just run this section. This one. Yeah, look at that, guys. It's more cornery. You see this? If I excluded those 6 other points, so those 4 other points, it's more looking like a corner, right? Ayos ba, Adi? This is your data. Rotate again. Can you see the corner, guys? This is the corner of the Rubik's Cube in 3D. The first 6 points. How you like that, Adi? We just made our first 3D image. Nice ba? Okay, I'll stop share. Uy, ano ba? React naman kayo dyan. Hindi ko nakikita kayo. Basta ba? Ayos ba?
Try ko po yung pagpili ng 10 points ngayon. Hirap po pala maging after.
By the way, you know, if you have more points on the surface of these, like you take all the other points here and maybe in the middle here, okay, you can get more surface information, okay? Okay, I'll stop share. Ayos ba, guys? How about you, Bea? Nakuha mo?
How do you make the mesh appear? I only have like the points now, but I copied them. What do you do?
Sige. Again. I'll show the screen. Share screen. Here. Okay, here's the code. Here's the code. Do you see this code?
Yeah.
Mesh.
I copied it down though, ma'am. It's fine. It's just the points that I see.
Yeah, tingnan mo, buksan mo yung mo. Share mo yung screen mo. I-edit ko. Ano natin. Can you share your screen?
Okay. I'm not sure lang about the pixels thing. I haven't.
Girl, your range is different. Kasi I can see, have a look at your axis, no? Tingnan mo yung ano mo, yung XY axis mo dito sa 3D, ano, yours is what? 2,000 to 3,200. That's why basis, no? And this is 1,700 what? To 2,000 something. So you change this mesh grid thing according to the maximum range or to the range of your ano. Sige, palitan mo na. Lapit na.
I can't see it. Z is 600. Oh, is this X? I can't see it. 1,700.
I think this is 2,000.
I can't see it.
Yeah, 2,000 something to 3,200. Sige, go. So first, mesh grid. Change the mesh. Ay, sorry. Hello. Can you still see?
Hello? Wait.
Yeah, I can still see, but I'm saying that your mesh grid range is wrong. You should use
Oh.
the mesh grid range
Oh, okay. Yeah.
as you see in your 3D graph. So here, parang ang X mo ay ano to, 2,000 to 3,200. So change that, 2,000 to 3,200. Yo. And then itong isa na to, 1,700, tama ba?
So small.
To ano to, 2,300. Ano to?
Yeah.
Mabasa. Yan. Vector must be the same length. Bakit ba? First 6 ba yan? Oh,
Huh.
something's happening.
Maybe
Oh.
another one's wrong. I think this is wrong.
But anyway, we see something. Hey,
Oh.
you learn something good. You can rotate that. Looks interesting. Nah, almost there.
Okay, I'll just like. How come I can't?
You wait for the arrow that says pop out. No, I mean there's a corner at the
Here.
right corner that allows it to pop out, and then you can choose the rotate. But you're getting there. Ayos ba, Mel?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Sige. Ayos ba, guys? Yeah, see? We're done. Okay, I need to go. I have a meeting.
Okay.
Another DOST meeting. Ayos ba, guys? Okay. So the last two activities are, again, 3D imaging. Okay? So excited to, again, share with you next meeting. So see you there. Okay? Bye.
Bye.
Hope you had fun.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.